Giant Genji, so no surprise here that we would see him burst it out since he is subbed in. Yaki's Widowmaker, I was going to say, probably not going to really be a thing here. Not the greatest Widow in this league, and this dive comp they're running now is very standard.
Yeah. Stitch, however, he plays a pretty good Widowmaker from time to time.
Yes.
He dabbles.
This comp makes more sense because they can use this high ground with Orisa to protect Stitch, basically force a well-executed dive from MVP space to break it. They've got a dive comp, but the execution needs to be there.
Yeah, but somebody is taking up the point. Will be stopped now. Yaki made his way around the back, and now is going to be targeted down. So has that recall ready to go. Doesn't have to use it. And in the meantime, Tidala is actually going to find a kill there onto Stitch. So nice little start there. Huxall, however, going to be finishing off the enemy Genji. That's my hero, you don't get to play it. Takes him out, follows up there onto Oberon, but will be cut down by QOQ. In the end, who is duking it out with Bumper, and he's gonna be the one getting popped out of the mech, fires away with a pistol, and does get the returning kill. Danu is down, and it seems like MVP Space might have found themselves in for a very early cap.
There's a lot of different things you can do to break an Orisa comp, but this time it was just Tidala getting that initial pick, and then winning the longer fight. The setup there for RunAway allowed them to do long distance poke with the Widow, and also had great close cover with the Junkrat that Huxall was running, great close coverage with the mines coming out from Junkrat, his ability to do AoE damage, pick off those diving targets. However, when the comp falls apart, all it takes is 1 or 2 picks, and then we see the cap. We see this on Horizon Lunar Colony all the time. Yeah,
so going to be a shift away from the comp, as you were referring to, it's called treehouse comp position you were calling it?
That's what it is on Anubis. Similar comp, though, on this map.
A little bit different. Definitely not Fusion's treehouse. I don't see Sideshow living in there. But
yeah, not at the moment.
RunAway now going to be trying to hold on. As we do see Huxall going over to that Genji of his own. Tidala halfway to that Dragon Blade. And Yaki getting chunked out just a little bit there. So kill off Undyne. That might just be the end of the push. And yeah, I think with Oberon dying, it's going to have to be MVP Space starting to kite back. Yaki gets a very valuable recall, keeps himself alive as he goes down to about 3 HP, but now has to exit.
Overextension here by MVP Space, seeing blood in the water, having their dive go beyond their tanks, beyond their supports, and trying to grab those healers in the bag.
Great bait.
They do grab Stitch here, though, so there's an opportunity to force this one through now. They have a better coordinated attack and a positional advantage now up on this high ground. They're gonna actually abandon it, though, and head down towards the left side. They have double support ultimates for Tidala's Dragon Blade. He's there just before Huxall. I mean, they are dead even in terms of that right now. Amy could give a nano, though.
Looking for a position here. Huxall gonna get taken out. Jano does find Fuse, however, with that self-destruct, so crucially getting around of that AoE healing. But Tidala, he draws out the Dragon Blade and finds Amy. No more Ana in the fight. Undyne, however, taken down, will just be traded out for the Zenyatta. QOQ gets rid of Twilight. Halfway to that second tick.
Not going to secure them that second one, not yet. Fuse does have this sound barrier to help them sustain through, but Huxall answers with his own Dragon Blade. No support, though.
And a blade comes through. He's down to 4 HP. One smack would finish him off, but he gets healed up just a little bit more and will be able to stay in the fight, but he doesn't get much for the ultimate. Answers back, throws those shurikens right into the back of Oberon's head, will take him down, and they hold him off. 53% gain there by MVP Space, but unable to get the second tick, so going to be starting back from 33.
Knowing that MVP Space used everything there, I think it was smart to use the Nano Blade, knowing that MVP Space wasn't really going to be able to outdo that combo, despite the fact that they already used their Transcendence. Got those picks there. Now we're sitting even in terms of ult percentage. But the big win here for RunAway was that MVP Space was unable to get a second tick for completion. And this is going to burn through a lot of that massive time bank they started with when they broke through that Orisa comp.
Yeah, we know that this map in particular can lead to multiple overtime rounds coming through. 4 minutes on the clock here for MVP Space. Still looking rather good, but losing QOQ that early on is not going to be a good look. But he actually finds Stitch. Takes him down. Stitch is getting a little bit too close to the fire, and he gets burned, but the rest of his team still playing quite well as Twilight picks up a double kill, and he is looking for more, keeps firing away. They help take down Undyne. Bumper with another. Primal Rage is just jumping in, trying to cut off their retreat, but it's in fact just helping the Lucio get away. Fuse will say thank you very much for the boost. Makes it out with his life, and now Bumper is going to be the one in trouble, but Huxall just dashes his way through and takes out 2.
Huxall is...
Bumper still dies, though.
Huxall, Tidala is not able to find anything with these Dragon Blades. He's not able to find these backline supports because RunAway has actually kind of clumped up and prevented any sort of entry to this point B repeatedly. So he wants to change it up, go for an EMP attempt. Is slept here, does get because of Woken and does get his translocator off, but it's going to be a long while again before he gets that EMP. RunAway with a huge ult advantage, partially due to the fact that he switched. Here comes the blade.
It's going to be another one. Yeah, Nano Blade going to be drawn out. Hawksall looking for target, but so far only really finds the debuff, but now he's going to find Undyne. Says, thank you very much. You were the juicy target that I was looking for. But everybody else hounds him down, and Tidala is able to get the kill. Not before they lose out on a tank yet again. No tank, no healer. MVP Space are held at bay.
MVP Space not even halfway to that EMP. This is the style they're trying to run is to break through by stopping these ultimate advantages that RunAway has just simply by hacking them with the EMP. But in order to build it, they need to get into range, and Tidala has been slept and picked repeatedly. He just simply cannot flank. He cannot get past RunAway's eye. He's spotted every single time, and he spent most of his time on the Sombra in the spawning room. He's just simply not able to get around there, not able to get any picks, not able to even just pick at damage, not even to harass. 60 of 100. Let's see if he can find a better window this time as he comes around here with Yaki together. Dive comes through. Hawksall's the target, does get the dash away. They want that second take.
Oh, Stitch is just going to get blown up right off the start of the fight, and that's going to be no bomb ready for him. Transcendence invested here from the side of Twilight, trying to keep everybody alive. Finds Yaki, who's been slept. They will be able to finish him off, but they still can't afford to get distracted by that. They have to go back in and stop MVP Space from completing his second tick. And yeah, I think that'll just about do it. Oberon goes down yet again. Stitch is back in the fight, has the pulse bomb ready to go. Might not even need to invest it, could just hold it on for the next push because they're just shoving them all the way back towards point A.
Twilight had that great transcendence there, and luckily for MVP Space, they didn't commit the EMP, or they'd be in an even worse spot here. QOQ gonna get a little bit split spawned here with the delayed kill. But now MVP Space has their best tools yet to attack this. Sure, RunAway has an ult advantage, but that can change with a good EMP. Problem being that, again, no matter which way Tidala approaches the point, he's been spotted early. RunAway's got eyes like hawks right now, and they're not letting him through. And they're also pre-split. Knows how they're standing right now. EMP's gonna be tough to execute.
Oh, we're gonna be less than a minute in here. Bumper charging forward. He's gonna be the one nano boosted, so reduced damage coming through, helps keep him alive. And up in the front of MVP Spaces.
Okay.
Has another blade ready to go.
Tidala looking for that EMP, gets a good angle here on the side of the support.
Twilight goes down, but now Toxel into the back line looking for Fuse. One swipe comes in, he finds a second. The Lucio eliminated. Deflection up to keep himself alive and in the fight, but he's going to have to go ahead and peel back as that self-destruct comes in. QOQ doesn't find anybody, but he makes it back into the mech at least, so stays alive. Can still offer up the defense matrix, but we're 23 seconds remaining on the clock as Undyne goes down. MVP Space have to get in, and they're still starting from that first tick take.
All right, Hawksall even harassing here to try to build up for another Dragon Blade. Not that it's really likely to happen in 10 seconds of time. The EMP, again, fairly useless. Here comes a hack. This could be an opening pick, but Hawksall just getting all that healing from Amy, who's been fantastic tonight.
Yeah, they're looking for something, but they don't find anything. Coalescence coming out here from Undyne, but Stitch is right around the backside. Takes a lot of damage, has a recall, keeps himself alive. So playing around the outskirts of the fight is going to be QOQ, the first one that gets popped out. Stitch will go down as Yaki wins out with the Tracer War, but it's still going to be MVP Space who are lacking a tank.
Okay, Bumper gonna get a pick here, and they just can't get that second tick, man.
This one, the one, as Tidala goes down. Sound barrier gonna be invested by Fuse, but it's a bit too late. Two members have already died. They trade one back there on the Twilight, but they're looking for so much more, but no, nobody's been in on the point.
And we couldn't have known that they were going to be so fantastic at this point P defense. When MVP Space picked this map, they couldn't have known either. And there was one game played in the Overwatch Team Story Cup for RunAway. It was not on Horizon. There's nothing to study for this team since 2018 began. MVP Space picked this map. They ran a strong comp for it. They ran the Genji dive, but they're trying to out-Genji a Hawksall on the other side. Yeah. Let's not forget that both, I mean, realistically, every time they tried to come in to have the EMP or even the harass, everyone was pre-split. They were constantly picking off Sombra every time she tried to find an entry point into this point B. And RunAway was getting picks so that MVP Space couldn't even commit to a full push. Occasionally tried a 5-man push or even a 4-man push, wasted ultimates, whereas RunAway is just getting picks vanilla, no ultimates. So they were holding 5-6 ultimates most of the time. They always had the momentum in their favor. We saw sleeps coming through from Amy onto Yaki, and they basically made this Sombra comp with MVP Space look useless, look just outdated. It was just so well shut down.
Excellently done, but it's not over yet. That's just going to be the defense there from the side of RunAway. Clearly tightening up on point A defense is going to be something they have to look for there in the future as they surrendered it. But the point B, holding it for that long.
Look at what
absolutely wonderful. But
look at what we see here. It's going to be Undyne, who we've seen in the past run, along with players like Why Not, the Torbjorn on this point. So he will be able to buy a little bit of extra time. He's going to do the little bit of a frontal turret here. They have Orisa, Widow, and the Junkrat just like what RunAway ran. Obviously, they're missing the extra healing, though, that RunAway had with Undyne playing this Torbjorn. So a bit more all-in, but it could come as a surprise. Twilight's going to switch over to this Sombra, and Huxall again is going to come scout things out. They see it now. Let's see how they approach.
Yaki right now, he's been doing quite well here for MVP Space, coming up with kills. He's trying his hand over at the Widowmaker here for now as Tidala tries to just go ahead and execute Huxall, but just can't get
struggling. If he had died in the 1v1 there, that could have cost them this point. So, like that he backs away safely. At this point, still holds at the moment.
Pretty critical, but several members going low, and Bumper's actually going to get taken down over on. Orisa doing some work, and they'll even get the pop there onto John. Trap comes down, Huxall, he's like, oh god, please don't notice me. Doesn't get picked off, and actually finishes off QOQ with the fadeaway.
Undyne halfway towards that Molten Core. This has been a very successful defense in terms of time bank here. MVP Space has burned so much. Ooh. And once the Primal, or sorry, not the Primal Rage, the Molten Core completes, they're gonna buy so much more of that. Huxall looking for a pick here onto the Mercy. There he goes.
Undyne gonna be taken out, but Huxall does get shut down in the end. Line gonna come through, and Stitch barely stays alive, manages to get that health pack in time.
Huxall's peel there opened up the turret, so that was actually taken out by Jano at the same time. So this is starting to fall apart here for MVP Space. They've switched Undyne off the Torbjorn. Can they even contest this? It doesn't look like it, Achilios. Two ticks up.
They're gonna have to get in there for a last-ditch chance. QOQ didn't have that self-destruct ready to go.
Riptire's up.
Not really finding much. And that's going to be him going down. Riptire out from Tidala. Let's see if he can get something done. They target it, and it just gets ripped out of the air as Huxall comes up with the kill onto that one very swiftly. Both healers dead. This should just be the cap.
You can really judge how well a Torbjorn defense went based on how much ult charge the Torbjorn builds. If they get a Molten Core, you did exactly what you wanted. You could buy more time. Sometimes you get the full hold. That almost rarely happens at this level. But if you get 60% of ult, which is what Undyne got, you feel pretty good about how much time we were able to buy. You know, it can go completely wrong where you die in the first push, your entire defense was a failure, like we saw from RunAway in the last defense, and you don't buy that time. But this was a success, despite the fact that RunAway breaks through.
Yep, Huxall maybe looking for an EMP. Short sit, though, with the translocator hit. But now we'll go ahead and lay it down, and is looking to take out Undyne, but hasn't been able to get him yet. Hacks the enemy hacker there as Tidala gonna find himself in a sticky situation, but he is still gonna be alive and in the fight, at least for now. Undyne finds one there on a Twilight. QOQ goes down after getting popped out of the mech. Amy traded up as Undyne goes down. It's just gonna be an all-out swap over the healers. As Fuse gets picked off right as he brings QOQ back into the fight. Close bomb out from Stitch. Finds Oberon, takes care of him. Tidala, the self-destruct rips him apart. Janu has been eliminated, however, and that first tick still is not there for RunAway.
Yeah, such great focus firing there. Eliminating Oberon especially was really well coordinated. Unfortunately, they didn't eliminate him first. He bought enough time for respawns to come through, and as you say, the first tick doesn't come across the board. RunAway also severely lacking in ultimates because they had to use so many to grab point A, so MVP Space could be very happy so far with this defense. Undyne's got that coalescence. Huxall may want to think about making a switch over to the Genji after this EMP if MVP Space can do what RunAway was able to do to stop those from happening.
Well, Coalescence comes down, does find a pick there onto Twilight, so a nice start to the hold here from MVP Space, but losing out on QOQ again doesn't do them any favors. I'll keep building up the pulse bomb. If he can shut down something like Bumper, that'd be absolutely instrumental in MVP Space trying to hold this off, because it's still over 4 minutes left on the clock. Hasn't seen the opportunity yet. In fact, we'll just go ahead and use the recall. try to keep himself alive, and MVP Space will back up into the point.
Haksal got that EMP ready in just a second here, looking for the pick on the Moira. Fails, but grabs the EMP. That was the objective here. Yeah. Now he's going to head over and look for potentially a nice setup. I don't think this should be the EMP push, though. They don't have anything else to pair with it, but he might go for it anyways.
Well, once been used there by Tidal, and they actually find Twilight, who has swapped over onto that Moira, so they get rid of him, but Oberon now trading it out, but Janu knocked out of the bank. So again, just this back and forth coming through.
I really appreciate that he holds on to this EMP. He had the perfect EMP angle. He was in the perfect spot, but he knew his team wouldn't be able to capitalize on it. He holds it, waits for a better opportunity. He's going to have Primal Rage soon. Really unfortunate Stitch gets picked because that tack visor could be what they use to secure this point if he can get a similar angle for an EMP. The last time he holds it, he's holding it again here. Stitch 60% towards that combo they're looking for.
Really nice aggressive push there by MVP Space, continuing RunAway all the way back towards the respawn room. But again, it's just 54.7% is what RunAway needs in order to win this. But they haven't even gotten a single tick yet.
I like how patient they're being. They've got a time bank that allows for this. Here comes the EMP, looking for the pick on Achilios. It fails, though.
Yeah, just gets traded right back in onto Haksal. He gets taken down immediately. Overrun again, dies for the second time with his Primal Rage available.
There comes that tag.
Looks like it might be okay. Looks like it might not be causing him too much. Stitch drops to the low ground, has the attack visor, gets rid of Fuse. They get Yaki, they get QOQ. Could this be the opportunity here for RunAway to try to turn things around? Coalescence comes in from Twilight, takes out Undyne, and now they're pushing in, looking for the point. That first tick nearly there. Oberon, even with the Primal Rage, gets focused down, gets eliminated, and Tidal with a sliver of HP with a shield from the sound barrier tries to keep this in contention, but I don't think he's going to be able to do too much.
No, he's certainly not. Yaki trying desperately alone to push this back. The tick is granted.
Undyne's dead. He's tried to swap out to the Doom Fist. A bit ill-advised, you'd have to say. Self-destruct to sell them back, and RunAway have done it yet again.
I really appreciate the trust between Haksal and Stitch on this push. Stitch walks up to the second floor at about 75 to 78% of his tack visor. Calls out to Haksal, I'm up here, I'm in position, I want you to call that. I don't have tack visor, but I want you to EMP. If you EMP in this moment, I'll build the tack visor, I can use it, we can secure the point. Meanwhile, Amy has Coalescence available. They know this is their moment to split the point because for the first time, Stitch finally is on that high ground. That EMP that Haksal was holding on to for so long finally becomes the perfect time, or if it's the perfect tool to open up Stitch's positioning. He worked his way to the high ground with that soldier. One of the toughest things you can do on attack point B on Lunar Colony is to get the soldier up there. Then they have the EMP. Everything's opened up. Some of the members of MVP Space survive, but the key tanks are gone, the supports are gone, and from then on, Coalescence is enough healing to stop the respawns from coming through. Execution like that, man.
Some nice moments from him, but yeah, you're right. The execution at the end, absolutely gorgeous by RunAway. Just knowing when they could actually go in for the fight. As soon as he wrapped around to try to go for that initial EMP, just saying, like, you know, we're in a fight, they're investing on us, hold it, wait for the next one. And they do just that. It just unravels from there for MVP Space, who just can't seem to catch a break. Even, you know, Meta Athena able to get a win at least on the board for themselves, and then just kind of rolled over and died in the rest of their maps. MVP Space have been competitive, they have been keeping this close, but they haven't been able to get the actual map point wins.
Yeah, the coordination is just way better on the side of RunAway. They're running their old roster with the exception of Amy, who's coming as a fantastic support player tonight, especially on the Moira. I really feel also the Ana there on the defense on point B.
Targets.
Sleep darts hitting with onto Yaki. Also his accuracy on protecting Haksal during Dragon Blades when he was the only support alive, just making sure to track him. How many times do we see Haksal down at 20%, a few seconds later back at full, back with another Dragon Blade because Amy's accuracy was so good there to keep him alive. The support line here for RunAway and Haksal's new improved hero pool on these DPSs is really showing through. Look like a terrifying team right now. Everyone had questions, which RunAway are we going to see? Are we going to see Alpha and Slime coming in today, the new players for the team they just recently picked up? Or are we going to be seeing the RunAway that struggled in Season 3 and Season 4 to really get to the beginning of the season off onto the right foot with new positions, new role swaps, new players? I thought especially that RunAway might struggle today against a team that's so coordinated and has been running with the same roster for so long. But the answer is no. They've prepared so well. Haksal's prepared new strategies. The Reaper we saw, he played the Genji. His Sombra is fantastic. Everyone expected Twilight to be the Sombra player, right? But with DPS is playing Sombra in this meta, Hoxel is delivering.
Yeah, I mean, it was another question. It was how are these guys going to be coming into a new tournament without their namesake? You know, without Runner here on the squad. Flowervin's been holding down the roster while Runner is over in the military, and seems like things have been going rather well for them. Stitch feeling a bit safer, not going to get hit in the eye anymore, I guess, by Runner.
Yeah, look at this. Look at this play by Stitch, by the way. Just up on that high ground, that was the game-winning play. Calls out to Hoxel, like, I'm up here. I know I don't have ult yet, but I will. As long as you give me that EMP, I'm going to hit those tanks until I have ult. I'm going to burst down the squishies if I can get them. Really crisp execution there. Talking about Escort, we've been, unfortunately, for the side of MVP Space, looking at their map preferences throughout tonight's matches.
It's an odd one. It's a very odd one.
Gibraltar.
Yeah. Gibraltar, they've gone on the record saying that that is their favorite escort, and we're going to have another swap as Tidala has been taken out, played in for one game, and one fact is going to be returning.
MVP Space has a fantastic record in 2018 on both hybrid and escort, the 5-2 amongst both, but because they did so well in trials, you know, those are actually their tied for worst map type. It's not like this is a bad map type for them by any means, but Gibraltar is a pretty snipe-oriented map pick where you're trying to throw your opponent off. It's a very Widowmaker-oriented map as well.
I like the Super Meat Boy going on there.
Blood
Not
Trail.
sure why that fits in there, but
a lot of Korean fans like the Blood Trail emote for some reason, I've noticed. It's not really used in the foreign Overwatch community all too much, but maybe now that RunAway is using it, people will. But yeah, I think that, I mean, obviously the series is over, quote unquote, but MVP Space has the opportunity to at least kind of mitigate how many points they lose, take that -4 indicator into a -3 with this final map. But it's been rough. I like that they're willing to experiment with swapping one fact in and out twice now.
Yeah.
We're going to Gibraltar.
Okay.
This is a map that plays to their strengths. They have, you know, good Widow in Yaki. He's played decent Widow in the past. The problem is that they're up against Stitch and Hoxel, and not only is Stitch a great Widow, but Hoxel is great at diving and punishing Widowmaker play. You know, when we talk about RunAway's roster, especially their new roster with Twilight and Amy as supports, it feels tough to say what their weaknesses are. Going into this series, for me, the weakness was going to be, okay, how much synergy do they have with this new roster? And I can't say that's a weakness anymore. It just feels like there's no nut to crack even for MVP Space. They're going to go to a comfort pick. Might be an 0-4 for them tonight, but with how well RunAway is playing, I don't think they can be sad about it if that's the case. Yeah,
I mean, even a 3-1 would be quite good here for RunAway, but they want the 4-0, and given the play style, seems like they might be able to get it unless Gibraltar really brings out something new or just elevates the play slightly here from MVP Space. Because again, they have been on the cusp. They've been getting closer and closer, but they just haven't been able to seal the deal.
Yeah, it's been just that last 10%, it feels like, of everything they're trying to do is shut down by superior synergy. Shot calling on the side of RunAway has just been so fantastic. I mean, moments like what we saw Stitch on the high ground there with the EMP coming through, that's not something you see every day. And we have really strong mechanical players. Yaki really made a name for himself on MVP Space here when he was able to outplay Eska and Taejun on the Tracer back in Season 3 of Apex. But, you know, mechanics can only get you so far. They can maybe get you a spot in Overwatch Contenders, but when you're playing against the Apex finalist, two-time finalist, I should say, and also finalist of APAC, you know, the coordination is there, even with a new roster. They have to step it up.
Seasons 2 and 4. If there's anything that RunAway is used to, other than loud fan cheers, it's going to be pressure. That's going to be the thing that they are certainly accustomed to. Amy going to be getting his fair share of it now.
Well, here comes
Twilight, but everybody else in this roster is going to be very well used to this, as we do see the pickoffs coming in attempted here from Yaki, but he's just going to get picked himself.
Yep, Yaki attempting that Widowmaker. We talked about how dive is the answer to this. RunAway, possibly the best dive team in this tournament.
Oh dear.
And, you know, you pick this map, you pick the Widow. When I look at earlier Blossom, what they were able to do with the Widow and how strong Illicit was at peeling, Space doesn't have one fact as strong of appeal. Yaki immediately switches to the Tracer. This is an old school Genji dive caught, by the way. I mean, we're looking at Ana as the healer here. They want nano blades. They want to do some fan service here, and this is a massive start for them.
Well, Bumper gets caught down on that low ground there. Can't get himself out. Believe he was hacked by one fact, so couldn't join in the rest of his team, but one fact's just gonna get taken down as Twilight snipes him out. Doing some work here from the back line. Now trying to chunk out that D.Va, get QOQ back out of that mech yet again. They finally get that payload moving, but it's gonna be stuck in the underpass here for now, and that could be a very difficult position to get it out of here for MVP Space.
Yaki swinging around back up onto the high ground here. One fact has been really unsuccessful throughout this entire best of 4 to find any picks, to find any flanks. They're just going to go for a deep dive here with Oberyn, but the counter dive is already prepared. They're just simply backing away, healing through this, and they're going to counter engage. Here comes Oxo with the blade.
He's going to drop in already. Finds Fuse now, looking for another one. Undone, going to get taken out by Stitch, and maybe just the pop on the mech. Yep, QOQ.
I mean, he'll
get taken down. It's essentially a team kill coming through from RunAway, or damn close enough.
This was so predictable as well. RunAway saw this coming a mile away, prepared the counter dive. Hoxel was in perfect position to pick for the Dragon Blade, come in and just wipe the floor with them. Oberyn telegraphed his movement so hard, and RunAway just easily cleans it up.
They didn't even have to use the nano boost on that one, so they can just go ahead and dump that onto somebody like Bumper to just stick in the front line endlessly and stop that payload from moving up. We'll see where they want to turn that one around to. As they try to get a pick off here on a Hoxel. He's going to go low, but manages to stay alive. Beautiful defense matrix coming through there from Janu to help keep him alive. One fact has to dash back. Payload moving up right now. For the most part, unhindered as two members do go down. Primal Rage out there from Oberon does get rid of Amy. The remaining members of RunAway here are trying to do their damnedest to stop this from getting the completion here onto point A.
Yaki finally got some room to breathe here. Once one of the tanks was removed, in this case, of course, D.Va, when you're running the Tracer, you can run around and do more consistent damage when no one's peeling, when no one's dematrixing you. So, ends up kind of getting an angle with that EMP coming through. D.Va goes down, but we do have Janu now with a self-destruct available. That nano that's still being held for a nano blade also available. Very likely want to save that one for a more contested push, though. Just holding the high ground for now, looking to jump down onto Oberyn. He's already used his jump. He's going to get stuck.
That's going to be the pulse bomb, just taking him down. Oberyn's well able to play up into the front line there with that nano boost that he had received.
Yep.
Hoxel playing fire there. It was dangerously low, but gets that Orb of Harmony and manages to stay in. He's almost got that next Dragon Blade ready to go, 83%.
Okay, Hoxel just being patient here, trying to get some shurikens to grab that Dragon Blade. Yaki gets an angle here on the Twilight, but the peel is real. He's kept alive.
Yeah, they can't finish him off. One fact is going to be the one going down as Stitch punishes. Sitting up onto the high ground there on the walkway. Trying to get the wrap around to maybe stick a pulse bomb in there is Yaki, but hasn't found it yet. And here comes another Dragon Blade. Sound Barrier going to be answered here by Fusion. Keeps himself alive here for the moment, but there's several members on top of him trying to take him out. I think it's going to be fairly deathless, at least for the side of MVP Space. Lose out on Fuse in the end, but they trade up, getting Twilight and Amy, so no healers available here for the side of RunAway.
Yeah, 2 for 2 ult exchange. Definitely going to be in favor of MVP Space at the end of the day. They end up winning the fight with the same amount of ultimates used. RunAway just holding on to these really good zoning ultimates, the Primal Rage and the Self-Destruct, holding it for this point B. That's where they really want to make their stand. It's unfortunate the Dragon Blade was so lackluster, though. Going to use Nano onto Janu to try to push this back.
It's going to be 2 minutes left to go here on the clock. Nano does at least stave them off for the moment, gets them away from the payload, but they need much more than that if they want to hold it here. Pulse Bomb comes through, not going to be finding the pick there. Stitch been having a really rough day when it comes down to actually getting those through onto the less large members. You know, anything smaller than a Winston seems to be a bit difficult for him. Self-destruct invested, shield there, going to absorb that as Bumper. Does quite nicely with that to keep his team in the fight. Self-destruct invested by Janu as well. We'll just get back into the mech. And RunAway will hold just 0.82 meters in front of point at B.
Yeah, it's going to start rolling back fairly soon. Look at how quickly Amy is able to build up these nanos. I love how liberally he's using them onto the Winston, onto the D.Va, just to regain positional advantages.
Pulse Bomb going through there on the Janu. He's going to get knocked out of the mech. In fact, can't keep him alive. No defense matrix is going to be available, and Undyne is investing that Coalescence, and they'll kill Bumper as well, so now no tank line, no Ana, no nothing here for RunAway. Twilight will feel the pressure. He's going to go ahead and pop that Transcendence, but they're just going to get taken down in all likelihood as soon as that thing expires. And yep, there he goes, Hoxall joining him in the grave, and that's going to be a completion on the point B.
The healers on the side of RunAway just don't have the healing throughput that MVP Space has with the Moira Lucio composition. That's why Yaki is able to get these picks onto bumpers so many times. He just cannot be healed if he's out of line of sight of Ana, outside of the line of, out of the line of sight of the Harmony Orb for Twilight. And realistically, the only burst heal they have is from the grenade and from Transcendence. But otherwise, they're just getting out-healed. And that allows these Tracer plays to burst down the tanks.
Well, they're looking for another Nano Blade here, perhaps. So far, Hoxall just going to be left-clicking, right-clicking away, but hasn't invested the play, and it's just going to go ahead and expire. They lose out on Twilight, and Amy says, you know what, I'm going to have to hold on to this ultimate for a bit longer to try to turn things around. Dashes through, helps take down Yaki, at least to alleviate some pressure here. Stitch finds himself swapped over onto the Widowmaker, but he also finds one fact, at that range, with that reduced spray, is able to get the kill.
Cart's still rolling. They really are trying to gatekeep RunAway into the spawn right now. Oberon gonna pop Primal Rage super early here because he was discorded.
Just trying to get as much space fought here for this payload as humanly possible. Hoxall trying to stay alive, just double hopping up into the air, staying away, just getting smacked here and there rather than constantly. Bumper goes down as Yaki finds the kill. Dragonblade now going to come out, but Fuse has been waiting for this moment. He goes down that sound barrier. The self-destruct finds Hoxall. Twilight dead as well, and Yaki still has that pulse bomb ready to go. As they start moving forward, he'll just kill Jan, who says, hey, thanks for jumping up here onto my level.
Self-destruct too, totally free, way too early to be used. Hoxall was hacked. He's going to switch to the main now. They are in desperation now. Amy gets taken out. He was trying to pocket onto the Winston earlier with that Mercy. It's the third support he's played this game, but that's completion.
Get there in time.
And Achilios is just basically a game of One Fact and Yaki harassing the Diva, harassing the Winston so much because the heals just were being, there were too many targets to heal. Ana has to focus most of the targeted healing onto Hoxall because he's trying to carry these fights, build these Dragon Blades. He's playing far out, which means the energy, the healing is being put into Hoxall, which means not into the Winston, who gets caught in these unfortunate situations, gets hacked, bursted, or pulse bombed. And then once the tanks are down, whether it's the Winston or the Diva in this case, they're able to just run around with the Sombra, with the Tracer, and kill the rest of the targets. We saw at the end, I like the switch of Amy onto the Mercy at the last second because that could have maybe gotten them a Valkyrie to win the longer fight there to defend the point, and also could pocket heal better the Winston and switch targets between Winston and Genji. But it just didn't work out at the end of the day. The switch there to Lucio at the last second still didn't find the solution. So good map pick here on the side of MVP Space. They executed it well, even though they couldn't even run the Widow they started with. But at the same time, I have to question how long Amy stayed on the Ana and how many Nano Blades they were looking for. Always had Nano Boost more than Hoxall had Dragon Blades, so sometimes the timing didn't line up. But it felt like if they played a safer, more patient game here, once especially we got inside, heading towards point B, I think they might have had more success on defense.
Well, RunAway, if they want to go ahead and walk away with that 4-0, they have to pull out all the stops when it comes down to their attack. It was a really great start to the defense when the Widowmaker was still there from Yaki. They shut him down immediately, leapt forward, and kept them contained. But after that, you see MVP Space starting to hit their stride. Started pushing forward fairly rapidly. A couple halts here and there, but from B to C, it was pretty damn smooth of a ride.
Well, we're going to see this Widow matchup, Yaki and Stitch. Talked about this before we headed into the map. This matchup going to be very important. Obviously, Stitch having the advantage, or excuse me, Yaki having the advantage on defense at the moment.
Yaki taking a bit of damage there, has that nice long little grapple hook to keep himself alive and safe.
That spray totally helpful. Stitch gonna look for an angle here onto the Diva. He's actually gotten to a pretty good spot here. No one can dive him. Oh, nice prediction.
Finds the shot there onto Yaki and takes him down. That he'd be wanting to push back up. Poison Trap not going to be doing anything for him. Now he's looking for the hit.
Hoxall's Doomfist is in the back line. He's being pocketed by the Mercy. Hacked here, but so close to that Meteor Strike. And he really just wants to snowball this one forward.
It's been an interesting game. We've had a couple Doomfists come through, but never a starting one. It's always been desperation, but Hoxall feeling it, it would seem, as he keeps moving forward with this one Meteor Strike. Going to be up in just 5%. Nope, never mind. He's going to have that one ready to go. See if he has to invest it. Right now, just firing away with the left legs. Has that faster ammo gain coming through. Nice little slam into the uppercut. To find anything, and the punch is going to miss out. Has to go up with the meteor strike. Comes straight down,
kills.
but not going to be finding any kills. Misses the punch there, gets the uppercut yet again, and almost takes out Oberon, and Stitches there for the alley-oop to take him down.
So much pressure, though, that the meteor strike provides. Everyone has to reposition. That's when RunAway capitalizes, gets the kills. Huxall didn't get any kills burst with the meteor strike, but he did some extra damage as well. Imagine how strong I think this, I mean, just think about how great this could be if Twilight was actually running Moira at the moment to keep him healed, because they're deathballing super hard. Only Stitch is really far away from this composition to look for picks.
Oh,
speaking
Stitch.
of which,
Now finding Fuse, gonna be a nice opener here for the fight to keep that payload moving. And you can see that Coalescence coming out from Undyne, but let's find a kill onto Twilight. Certainly not the way that RunAway would like that to be going, and Stitch is going to get taken down by Yaki as well. So good forward push here from MVP Space to go ahead and regain control over that payload, because remember, the door is shut. There's few options that RunAway has to go ahead and push in. 4 entryways, that's it.
That's why we're going to see, one of the reasons why we're going to see Huxall switch back over to this Sombra. They're going to keep Amy on Mercy to help boost the damage from Stitch, although I think that window is closing as well. Support assassination attempt here by OneFact. Doesn't even need the EMP to get to help open up realistically 3 kills here.
Yeah, it just leads to everybody being taken out, both healers going down. Twilight had the Transcendence, but just didn't feel the pressure to use it, but in the end does die.
So that timing of Widow really ends once you get into this point, as long as momentum's taken away from you even once. So Stitch is going to switch back to the Tracer. Going to see that Sombra Tracer dive now. And Amy switches over, of course, to the Lucio. So RunAway is now going back to comforts here. OneFact held that EMP earlier, didn't need it. Don't think he'll need it here either. Just wants to get another support kill.
Oh, well, it's going to be the supports that are actually finding the kill as Twilight takes down Yaki. Fuse and Undyne both dead. And he will be traded back as Overrun finds one, but Bumper here is going to go on fire with that Primal Rage investment, and now still going to be RunAway pushing forward. 3 minutes left on the clock to get the completion here onto B.
They have a lot of tools, though, to delay this. Sure, it's 3 minutes, but if they stagger these ultimates well, they can buy a lot of time. OneFact cannot be die-in now, though. He's the beginning of how this comp needs to work.
All the way back, going to the start of the map, and now he's going to be joining in.
That was another EMP
through here from Huxall. Stitch has been taken out by that Coalescence yet again, but Yaki and Fuse both go down. Oberon follows suit, and QOQ taking quite a bit of damage. He's going to toss that self-destruct to try to find something. Doesn't get anything, but will make it back into the mech. But it's just a matter of time before he's knocked right back out into that Baby Diva form and taken down. It seems like this is just going to be the push here for RunAway.
It's so important that OneFact died. He died from his own greed as well. Had he played a little bit more safely, waiting until the last second to look for an easy EMP angle, instead of trying to get a greedy pick without it, he would have been alive, he would have been able to EMP, and all the ults used by MVP Space, especially notably the Pulse Bomb and the Self-Destruct, would have been much more effective. He still has that EMP now, but it feels sheepish. He probably feels sheepish because it's useless. He's going to try to use it here. Not the best position. This is not a contested position. He can slow down the push, but could have stopped them dead in their tracks had it been used earlier.
Drops it in, but it's still going to be a trade back and forth here. Fuse going to get taken out. Didn't feel the need or feel like he had the proper position to go ahead and invest that sound barrier, so wants to hold on to it for maybe the last push, but we're looking at 3 minutes, 15 seconds on the clock remaining for RunAway as they get ready to go around this final corner towards point C. 41 seconds is the time to beat.
EMP doesn't matter if you can't capitalize on it. He held it for so long, got greedy, and now he's got 40% of another one, but the window is closed for how useful it could be. Oberon with the chase here. Actually, sound barrier baited with this as well. They want more, though.
Yeah, they go ahead, they throw that one down. They're going to get several kills, nearly team killing here. On to RunAway, just going to be Bumper left alive in the end, so a nice little hold, burn some time off the clock, but like you said, a lot of ultimates available here for RunAway, and Fuse invested the sound barrier. And
yeah, with the sound barrier gone here, and Huxall having this lead in terms of the EMP, this could be disastrous. Also because Stitch can use this Infrasight to give him the best angle possible. He knows everything now. He's just used it. So we can look for the best angle. I'll have a shot at him we don't have a shot of him at the moment.
Solom's getting attacked there by Yaki, but he's not going to be able to find the kill, and now Twilight's going to be under pressure, forced to use that Transcendence. Both of the RunAway healers also now going to be burned out, and OneFact, he's got nowhere to go. he'll just get taken down. And it's all for the price of Stitch, which I think is a nice price to be paid here by RunAway. They try to finish off QOQ, but they just can't quite get him before he makes it back into the respawn room, but they are pushing in.
This is a great EMP by Huxel, helped them demech QOQ, which meant no more peel. This is pretty much just it.
Primal Rage is ready to go. QOQ pushing forward. Once that comes in, drops down the EMP, but is not going to be finding anything. The self-destruct gets the Baby D.Va out, but he'll get taken down here by Bumper. As they try to keep moving forward, but for now, it seems like MVP Space might have regained control.
Okay, hack here onto Amy is risky with how close he, or how aggressive he was positioned. He actually escapes, helps get the kill here onto Undyne, does get taken out. This is buying a lot of time for MVP Space. We're getting close to their time bank now. Huxel, his EMP got him the last pick onto the D.Va, but didn't get him enough to finish this point. RunAway's gonna have to do one more eco push before they have, realistically, the big six. They're so close. They can't get picked off though. They need to be wary of OneFact's flanks, as well as Oberon's aggressive dives. If they can get a single pick though, I think this game is going to extra rounds.
Think back to Iconfall, that very, very long overtime run that RunAway had to make, and it seems like it might just be the same thing all over again, because right now they are contained back away from the payload.
So patient here.
Sitting in the back, yeah, just trying to time this one out, throws it in, doesn't find the stick, it doesn't get the kill. That could have been a crucial one here for him. Strong tossed in will, however, pop out Janu, so a nice little start. Stitch also whips his pulse bomb. Sound barrier going to be invested. Huxel goes slow, but man, just to stay alive here. He needs that EMP. And Stitch tries to fire away, but the coalescence comes through. Janu's dead. Huxel dead as well.
No EMP.
All the members of RunAway are going to get picked off with just 20 seconds left on the clock. This could be MVP Space winning a map.
It looks like it. 17 seconds left. Huxel is dashing back to the point. They have a lot of time they can buy with this Transcendence, but OneFact could shut it all down with his own EMP. He's hiding up here on the high ground. They're looking for him, but they can't find him. Here comes the EMP.
Retrocator comes in. They're going to get the tag in here. It looks like EMP going to get dropped, and the overtime clock has started, but RunAway have to be all in on this fight, and that's a decent start. Undyne, QOQ, both taken out. Baby D.Va now going to be finished off, and Stitch chases in, and he gets Overon right on the last frame. We might be going to extra rounds, as you say, Wolf, because it's down to the wire. MVP Space try to go for the main, but it's not going to work out, and they do it yet again in OT. RunAway keep on going. They are hungry for that 4-0.
Fuse switches over to the Mei to try to buy time there, but it was all down to Huxel's EMP. He died just moments before he could use it in the previous fight. The cart rolled back, that looked hopeless. But what's cool about what Huxel did in order to get in position to use that EMP was he actually took a much safer approach that had a lower chance of getting a big EMP. He threw it over the corner where no one could see where he was coming from, then ran forward just actually physically. He didn't use an EMP mid-air. He ran forward with the protection of the bubble when the Winston came in with him, then got the big EMP that won them the fight. And OneFact was trying to, again, be greedy and look for a major EMP. Was nowhere to be found, was nowhere to shut down that push. By the time he got in position to use his EMP, 3 were dead. And now, RunAway has an opportunity to win this series, the 4-0, and jump to the top of the group, undefeated.
Be a very, very good day for any team, but RunAway, they're the ones that are just on the edge. They can see that victory over the horizon. See how this one's gonna go. A minute on the clock for them. Yet again, a minute 41. It's an 11-second difference from Iconfall as we come into this one. And with RunAway starting things off on the attack, Stitch is yet again gonna be operating with the Widowmaker.
That's right. Huxel started with Reaper, but they're going to switch it up. They're going to try to Turtle again. Well, they were with the Orisa Reaper they used on Iconfall, but switching it up now just to the long-range hit scan of the Widow. Try to get those picks. Huxel can dive to help support against Yaki's Widow to win that matchup, to open things up. OneFact here, looking for an angle. He's taking a very wide approach.
Well, Yaki wins the trade there against Stitch, so enemy Widow going to be eliminated here for the moment at least.
Not good for RunAway. They needed this to push really far with their first push. Now they're staggered. It's going to be tough to even get onto the payload.
Yaki playing it very aggressive here, peeking these angles.
Okay.
This team now pushing forward, and yeah, they get Huxel as well, so it's going to be a very slow build-up for RunAway, and they're going to have to try to push this all the way into point A. Bumper just now joining in on top of the payload. Has that Orbit Discord.
Stitch has such a good angle. Look at one fact as well, though. He's over here on the corner just doing so much damage as well as building for that EMP. One single EMP may end this push. It's at 73% at the moment.
That gets forced back. Yaki for the angle, looking for the hits. Transcendence going to be forced out here by Yondan. He tries to stay alive. Valkyrie also available here for Fuse. Back firing away. A lot of shots into the backside of Bumper, but they can't finish him off yet. Comes forward, EMP comes down, finds it there in onto Jono, but they haven't been able to finish him off, and Axel actually finds Oberon. Self-destruct going to be invested in Huxel with the Dragon Blade. Gets Yaki, he's going to get more. They trade back one there onto Jono as he got out of the mech. It's just going to be the Divas killing each other, but Huxel puts the team on his back, puts it on the edge of his blade, and just cuts through MVP space. It looked like a hot knife through butter. Yet again, they get a completion.
It looked like this was just no way they could make it happen. One fact, it's a perfect angle for his EMP, hits everybody, and it was because of the Transcendence. He was healed up enough to build that EMP for about 70 to 100 in just a few seconds. Looked like there was no way RunAway could make it happen, but Twilight heals everybody up. Huxel gets the blade, and things turn in a second. A miracle attack here for RunAway, and it's just rolling still as MVP Space has to set up.
Bumper just popped that Primal Rage. Trying to keep everybody contained on the other side of the map, just trying to buy as much time, as much free distance as possible. They're on the cart, but
yes, this is just a distraction. This is just trying to pull everybody away.
Well, sound barrier invested there by Amy. Stitch just fired away with the left click, trying to go ahead and get some damage in on Oberon. He's going to go low, but that's going to be it in the end. Members of RunAway, they dragged away from the cart just long enough. Step off for a second. That overtime timer, I need to find a better way to say that.
It ticks down.
It'll tick down very quickly.
Well, they're still very happy with this. Remember, they've already won the series. They finished in overtime and were able to get past point A and significantly towards point B. Despite the fact that One Fact had that perfect EMP in the low ground under the bridge through that Transcendence, but after the Transcendence was used to secure that, they didn't have it for Huxel's Dragon Blade. And we're not seeing a whole lot of commitment to Genji today in our opening day of Contenders outside of Huxel, but man, does he make an argument for it. His Dragon Blades have been crisp. The new support lineup, Twilight and Amy, have protected him, have allowed this to happen. And now, yet again, MVP Space finishes the first push with an advantage, and finds themselves worried about catching up to RunAway that had only the overtime timer. Do they risk running the Widow here at all even is the big question, because you're up against Stitch, who's been doing fantastic. You're also very prone to the dive. It's going to be back to that same Tracer Genji Ana dive. They're running Yaki on the Widow. Feels like a huge risk. They've got a minute 40, so they have a larger time bank to switch up, a time bank that RunAway did not have. But I worry for them because, again, this Huxel Genji dive has been so well executed and so well supported by Amy and Twilight.
Yeah, still going to be really risky. Yaki at the moment, you can see he's very apprehensive about coming around the corner just in case Stitch is using that Widowmaker yet again.
RunAway's playing back because they know they have a huge push advantage. They know they don't need to commit early. They're just out of line of sight of the Widow. They pushed this so far past the first point that they could just let time burn on its own here right now, and then look to fight at the point.
We'll just now start spotting out some of the members of MVP Space and vice versa. We'll see that Fuse is using that Mercy yet again here. So going low, rejoin here on the high ground. Tries to fire away with these shurikens. They have the Diva cornered. They're going to go ahead and take him out of the mech. Crucial pickup there on a QOQ, but Twilight has also been eliminated by Yaki in the meantime. So every picks on both sides.
Every pick is so worth for RunAway, though. Every pick costs so much time for MVP Space to get through this really narrow choke point. Bumper does survive here. He needs those Amy heals. Here they come.
Yeah, we'll be topping him right back up there as Janu pokes in from the sidelines. Matt coming down, heal deny, goes through onto Oberon. They're chasing in, they're trying to finish him off, and they're gonna get him. Janu picks up the kill, and Stitch finds Yaki. Could this be it? Could this be the whole 23 seconds remaining? Janu will get Team Max, but things still looking very good for RunAway.
It looks grim for MVP Space. The same issues we had for the side of MVP Space with Yaki on the Widow. We're seeing them. The dive is better. Stitch gets a pick on the Undyne as well. You just can't run Widow on this map with a short time bank against a team that's so good at diving and is going to have ult advantages against you like this.
Back moving forward, QOQ eliminated. Final grenade coming through, gets rid of that baby deep and bumper here. Primal Rage, plus that nano boost. He is just ripping through them. Overtime ticking down, and that might just be it. No back. Last tag in does come through. Undyne trying to stay alive, trying to stay on top of this as best as he can, but the self-destruct comes through. Oberon eliminated. Fuse has gone down, and RunAway do it yet again. They get the final push in OT, and then they're able to bring it home with a victory. 4-0 for them on the day.
MVP Space just unwilling to change their composition. They lost the series. They went to a comfort pick map for Game 4 just to test the waters again in Widow versus Widow. But it wasn't the Widow versus Widow matchup that got them. It was the dive against the Widow. The superior Sombra play we saw when Haksal was on it, and just simply got outclassed by the fact that RunAway is so good at running these comps, hugging the payload with less time, pushing further. They just weren't able to show flexibility despite having a larger time bank. Sure, 140 is not the time bank you're looking for, but they were just so hell-bent on running the Widow that just simply wasn't going to work. And to me, we saw 3 players really shine tonight. It's Haksal, Twilight, and Amy. It felt like a trio because both supports were healing Haksal so frequently. Haksal not only showed us his fan favorite Genji, but also the Reaper and the Sombra. Big hero pool. Also Doomfist, honorable mention, he did play that for a little while with great success.
Yeah, the start of that was absolutely excellent.
Just a big hero pool, new support players to empower the carry player for this team. And this is what RunAway's always been about, is Haksal on whatever really dive hero he's running. Today, it's mostly the Genji, sometimes the Sombra, but the heals, they were fantastic.
Either way, everything looking pretty darn good there for RunAway MVP. Shout out to them. Kudos for making this a very close set. Their map picks, you know, benefiting them to a certain degree, but not enough to actually pick up the map when players are out of the booths, ready to shake hands. RunAway got to be feeling pretty damn good as the crowd goes wild here. MVP, however, they look like contenders. They look like they are not going to be, you know, a bottom place or even a mid-level team in their group. It seems like these guys could very well finish second.
Yeah, and the story of the Trials teams today, Meta Athena and MVP Space, 2 Apex level teams.
In-game coordination is excellent, but bowing coordination is just not so great there for RunAway, it would seem.
Well, but the coordination in-game for RunAway obviously superior, but yeah, to go back to the point, both Meta Athena and MVP Space, bottom of the barrel in terms of Apex, did not get seeded, were the top of Trials, with MVP Space being second, and of course Meta Athena being fourth, just barely qualifying there. At the end of the day, they just haven't lived up to the higher level Apex teams in RunAway, and of course Jisoo Busan's new roster here in Blossom. So, you know, I feel like, as you say, MVP Space look like strong contenders here, and against perhaps a weaker team, they might fare better like they did in Trials. We weren't sure which RunAway was going to show up tonight with these new support players, but damn, it was impressive.
It was good. I swear that whenever we say strong contenders, we're not actually trying to do that on purpose. It's just a habit, I guess, that we have to break. But yeah, really great day to start things off here at Meta Athena, at least able to take away one